This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. There is a silent, predatory process unfolding inside your body at this very moment, one that is far more terrifying than a few wrinkles or a slowing metabolism. Imagine for a second that your body has turned into a cannibal, slowly and methodically consuming its own foundation to keep the lights on. This is not a metaphor. After the age of 60, your body enters a state of biological betrayal, where it begins to strip away your muscle tissue, ounce by ounce, day by day. You cannot see it in the mirror at first, but you can feel it. It is that slight tremor in your thighs when you descend a flight of stairs. It is the subtle, heavy effort it now takes to push yourself up from a favorite armchair. It is the quiet realization that the jars in your pantry seem to be sealed tighter than they were just a year ago. Most people dismiss these moments as the inevitable tax of time, but they are wrong. These are the early warning sirens of a total systemic collapse. Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are gathered here because you deserve to know the truth that the fitness industry and modern medicine often ignore. If you continue to let this erosion go unchecked, the data is cold and unforgiving. Within the next 24 to 36 months, you aren't just looking at getting older. You are looking at the high probability of losing your autonomy entirely. Statistics show that for those over 60, a significant loss of muscle mass increases the risk of a life-altering fall by over 500%. This is the path toward the wheelchair, the walker, and eventually the nursing home bed where you become a spectator in your own life. You are essentially watching your independence evaporate, leaving you as a prisoner within a frame that can no longer support your will. But what if I told you that this decay is not a one-way street? What if the secret to waking up those dormant, dying fibers is sitting in a bottle on your kitchen counter or a shelf in a local health shop? By the end of this journey, you will discover why traditional exercise has failed you and how a specific ranking of 8 natural oils can penetrate the barrier of your skin to reignite the biological engine of muscle recovery. The top-ranked solution in this list has shown a staggering 68% improvement in muscle tissue restoration in clinical trials. If you are ready to stop the theft of your strength and fight back against the biological clock, please take a moment to subscribe to ElderFit Nutrition. Your support gives us the strength to continue bringing these life-changing research-based insights to light. Now, before we go deeper into the science of your survival, I want you to pause and reflect on this. Which of these two scenarios haunts you more? Please comment your answer below. A, the fear of physically being unable to walk or move independently. B, the fear of becoming a permanent physical burden to your children and loved ones. Type A or B in the comments right now. Your honesty is the first step toward reclaiming your power. The tragedy of aging in the modern world is that we have been lied to about why our strength disappears. We are told to eat more protein, to walk more, and to stay active. Yet thousands of people follow this advice every day, only to find their limbs getting thinner and their grip getting weaker. The reason is a brutal biological phenomenon known as sarcopenia. After you cross the threshold of 60, your body undergoes a shift in its internal chemistry that renders standard nutrition almost useless. It is a state of anabolic resistance. Imagine your muscles as a high-performance engine, but the fuel lines have been rusted shut. You can pour as much high-quality fuel, protein, as you want into the tank, but it never reaches the combustion chamber. The amino acids circulate in your blood, but the muscle cells simply refuse to take them in. This is why you can eat a steak every night and still watch your calves wither away. Deep within your muscle architecture, there are specialized repair units called satellite cells. In your youth, these cells were like a 24-hour emergency crew. The moment you lifted something heavy or moved your body, they rushed to the site to repair micro tears and build the muscle back stronger. But as the years pass, these cells fall into a profound catatonic sleep. They are no longer receiving the chemical signals to wake up. This dormancy is exacerbated by a process researchers call inflammaging, a low-grade, invisible fire of inflammation that simmers in your tissues, melting away the structural proteins that hold your muscles together. When this fire rages, your body doesn't just stop building muscle, it actively starts breaking it down to harvest energy, essentially burning the furniture to keep the house warm. This loss of muscle is not just a cosmetic issue, it is a death sentence for your skeletal system. Without a thick, dense wrap of muscle to absorb the shock of movement, every step you take sends a violent vibration directly into your bones. Your skeleton was never designed to operate without its muscular shield. This is why bone density plummets alongside muscle loss. You aren't just losing the ability to lift a grocery bag, you are losing the structural integrity that keeps your frame from snapping under its own weight. The oils we are about to discuss are not mere lubricants. They are molecular keys. They contain specific lipid structures and antioxidant compounds that are small enough to bypass the dermal layers and enter the interstitial space surrounding the muscle fibers. Once there, they work to dampen the inflammaging fire. And more importantly, they provide the thermal and chemical stimulus required to nudge those sleeping satellite cells back into action. We are looking at a way to bypass the digestive system's failures and deliver the message of growth directly to the site of the decay. Understanding this cellular resistance is the only way to realize that your weakness is not a character flaw or a lack of effort. It is a biological lock that we are about to pick. To understand how we reclaim our strength, we must first recognize that not all botanical extracts are created equal. The world is full of miracle cures, but when your independence is on the line, you cannot afford to waste time on solutions that only touch the surface. We begin our ranking at the most basic level with a combination many people find in their kitchen: sunflower oil infused with cinnamon. On the surface, it feels promising. The cinnamon creates a sharp, tingling heat that flushes the skin with blood. It tricks the senses into believing that a deep healing process has begun. However, this is a biological illusion. While the warmth may temporarily soothe a weary limb, the molecular structure of sunflower oil is simply too cumbersome. It remains trapped on the surface of the skin, never reaching the dense, starving muscle fibers beneath. It is a psychological comfort, not a structural solution. As we move higher, we encounter sweet almond oil. Rich in vitamin E and highly prized in the cosmetic world, it is a superior lubricant that softens the skin beautifully. But when we are fighting the aggressive erosion of sarcopenia, softness is not the goal. Penetration is. Almond oil lacks the chemical keys to unlock the protective dermal barrier effectively. It acts more like a sealant than a delivery vehicle, leaving the dormant satellite cells deep within your legs and arms entirely untouched. The ranking shifts significantly when we look at the combination of cold-pressed castor oil and lemongrass essential oil. This is where we see the first real evidence of deep tissue intervention. Castor oil is unique because it contains ricinoleic acid, a compound that has a rare affinity for the receptors that regulate inflammation within the tissue. When paired with lemongrass, which acts as a mild vasodilator to open the tiny pathways of the circulatory system, you begin to see a reduction in that heavy, lead-like feeling in your muscles. It is a powerful duo, yet it still faces a significant hurdle: the sheer density of the fascia in a body over 60. Standing at the peak of the standalone oils is the ancient and revered black seed oil, derived from Nigella sativa. This oil contains thymoquinone, a potent biological guardian that specifically targets the oxidative stress that causes muscle fibers to wither. It is a fierce protector of the tissue you still have, preventing the fire of aging from consuming what remains of your strength. It is the most effective single oil in existence for muscle preservation, but even its power is limited when used alone. To truly reverse the decay and wake up the cells that have been asleep for years, we need a synergy, a precise orchestration of elements that can bypass every biological defense. The culmination of this research is a formulation we call Muscle Recovery Gold. This is not merely a mixture of ingredients. It is a bioavailable delivery system designed to overcome the anabolic resistance that has been holding your body hostage. The foundation of this gold standard is magnesium oil. Magnesium is the master conductor of the muscular system. It is the mineral responsible for every contraction and every relaxation of your fibers. Most people over 60 are chronically deficient, leading to the stiffness and cramping that make movement a misery. However, applying magnesium alone is often ineffective because it struggles to pass through the skin's natural defenses. This is why we integrate rosehip oil. Unlike the heavier oils we discussed earlier, rosehip possesses a molecular weight that is remarkably similar to the natural oils produced by human skin. It acts as a high-speed transport, a stealth vehicle that carries the magnesium ions deep to the interstitial fluid surrounding your muscle cells. But even with the fuel and the transport, we still need a catalyst to ignite the process. That catalyst is ginger essential oil. Ginger contains gingerols, which do more than just warm the area. They act as a biological key that dilates the shriveled microcapillaries within the muscle bed. This dilation allows a sudden, vital rush of oxygenated blood to flood the site, bringing with it the nutrients necessary for repair. The precise ratio for this life-altering blend is 2 tablespoons of magnesium oil, 4 drops of ginger essential oil, and 1 tablespoon of rosehip oil. When you mix these in your palm, you are creating a chemical message of renewal. The application is just as critical as the ingredients. You must massage the blend into your target muscles using firm, upward strokes moving toward the heart. This technique physically assists your lymphatic system in clearing out the toxic waste products of inflammaging, making room for the gold formula to saturate the parched fibers. As you perform this ritual, you are not just rubbing oil on your skin, you are manually restarting the supply chain of your physical strength. You are giving your muscles the mineral they crave, the transport they require, and the circulation they have been denied for years. This is the moment the biological lock is picked and your path to independence begins to clear. The difference between a life of growing fragility and a future of enduring strength is not found in a single application of oil, but in the unwavering commitment to a ritual of renewal. I am challenging you to embark on a 30-day agenda to reclaim your physical sovereignty. This is the threshold where the curious separate themselves from the transformed. To begin this journey, you must understand that the how is just as vital as the what. Every evening, before you commit to the rest of the night, you must prepare the site of your recovery. Take a warm, damp towel and wrap it around your target muscle groups, your thighs, your calves, or your upper arms for 2 minutes. This simple act of thermal preparation does more than just soothe. It signals your pores to open and your blood vessels to dilate, nearly doubling the absorption depth of the muscle recovery gold formula. Once the skin is primed and receptive, apply the blend using firm, intentional upward strokes for 90 seconds. This is your time to reconnect with a body that has served you for decades. Within the first week, you will likely notice a quietening of the nocturnal cramps that have interrupted your sleep. By the second week, that leaden, suffocating heaviness in your limbs during those first steps of the morning will begin to lift, replaced by a strange, forgotten lightness. By the 30th day, the cumulative effect of the magnesium, ginger, and rosehip will have reached a biological tipping point. You will find yourself navigating stairs without the desperate need for a handrail and standing up from chairs with a fluid grace you thought was lost to history. This is not a temporary mask for pain. It is the slow, deliberate reconstruction of your foundation. Your muscles have not abandoned you. They have simply been waiting for the right biological support to be delivered with consistency. Do not wait for the catastrophic fall to value your strength. Start this tonight and give your body the chance to prove exactly what it is still capable of achieving. As we reach the end of this discussion, it is important to reflect on the gravity of the choice before you. We often treat our health as a passive inheritance, something we simply have until we don't. But the science of muscle preservation in your 60s and beyond tells a very different story. Your body is a highly responsive, dynamic system that is constantly listening to the signals you send it. When you ignore the signs of wasting, when you accept weakness as an inevitable part of the aging process, you are essentially telling your biology that the work of living is done. But when you intervene with the precise, research backed methods we have discussed today, you are sending a loud, clear signal of survival. You are choosing to remain a participant in the world rather than a spectator. The deepest lesson we can draw from this is that muscle is far more than just a tool for movement. It is the primary organ of longevity. It is the metabolic furnace that keeps your blood sugar stable, the armor that protects your skeletal integrity, and the literal engine of your independence. To lose your muscle is to lose your freedom. The application of this lesson into your daily life is simple but profound. You must become the proactive guardian of your own frame. Do not wait for a doctor to give you a diagnosis or for a physical therapist to hand you a recovery plan. The most effective interventions are those that happen in the quiet moments of your own home, through the consistent application of knowledge and the discipline to follow a proven path. By taking charge of your muscle health today, you are not just adding years to your life, you are adding a quality of life to your years that most people only dream of. You are securing your ability to play with your grandchildren, to travel without fear, and to walk through the world with your head held high. What is one specific activity or hobby that you have recently stopped doing because you felt your strength was no longer sufficient and that you hope to reclaim after 30 days of this protocol? Please share your thoughts in the comments below so we can all support each other's goals and learn from our shared experiences. If you found this information valuable and want to stay informed on the latest research-based strategies for thriving after 60, please subscribe to the channel. Your support is what drives us to continue creating this content and helping our community stay strong, healthy, and independent.